Well, I can understand that this sort of perception could be there, but I think they are very short terms, and I would like to try to answer the best I can. First of all, I think that supporting the education of a child is a wonderful objective. It's a wonderful approach to defend human rights, because education is a fundamental right of every child. So for me, it's absolutely essential to preserve the rights of the child, and access to education, universal access to education, should be a very, very important objective of everybody. And in fact, this is what it is in the Millennium Development Goals. You know, it is one of the very important MDG for exactly this reason, because it's a fundamental right. So when somebody in Europe is contributing to put a child into school, I think this is something as important as access to food. Now, in India, the same person, if I follow your example, the same person in Europe who will have put money for children going to school in India should be very happy. Because in 2003, in India, there were 25 million children out of school. Thanks to the support of the European Union, but also not just, because thanks to the program of the government of India, where the European Union is putting some money and support, today, or I should say in 2009, there were only 8 million children in India out of school. So, you know, from 25 million to 8 million, the progress has been enormous. Of course, still 8 million, it's too much too much, but still. So what I'm trying to make with this second argument is that the money has been worth spending. The third element I would like to say is that I don't think that when a child is educated, and then when a teenage is going to college, then when out with a degree, a student is getting a job, I don't think we should think in terms of competitors. We should think in terms of wealth, in terms of the world economic growth. So, you know, the more children and the more students are coming on the labor market, and with a degree, which means with a decent work, with skills, you know, then you make the world economy run. And today, more than ever, I think people realize that you cannot only look in what is happening in your village, in your city, or in your country. There is so much interdependence. So it is important that there is economic growth in India, because India, probably together with China, is the leader of the world economic growth. And when our countries in Europe are lagging behind in terms of economic growth, when they are in the middle of a crisis, economic crisis, well, it's important that other countries are the locomotive of the world growth. So I think that we should not compartmentalize our view. And yes, maybe it's always the same, you know, wherever you give money to somebody, it means you have less for you. But you may have less for you now, in this very moment, but it will bring you more afterwards. And your child who is going today to school in Europe, tomorrow needs the growth that maybe an Indian child is going to produce when he becomes an adult. And of course, there are other cases where some people are winning and some people are losing. This is life. But in terms of economic cooperation, I think that today, given the maturity of a number of partnerships around the world, we have always to look for win-win situations.